My name is Kevin Marshall, and for my independent reading project, I chose The Punisher. Um, the writer for this particular series is Nathan Edmondson. He was a writer on X-Men, Deathlock, and a whole series for Black Widow, who is a part of the Avengers. He also wrote some old Punisher comics as well, but most notably his work is on this new Punisher series. This issue is called Momento Mori, which is Latin for remember that you have to die. His artist is Mitch Gerrits, um, which I believe he did a great job capturing the Punisher's vibe, and that it's gritty, it's dark, it's explosive. I really am a fan of it. Now, as for some reviews on this series, um, they seem to depend on if you're a fan of the Punisher or not to begin with. The negative reviews don't necessarily focus on this series. They just mention how overall the Punisher is a one-note hero with no depth, and while the people who do like the Punisher say it's a great read, it continues where the other great writers left off. Um, One point that I thought was great from a reviewer was that the Punisher is a fun hero to write for because he is sort of one-dimensional, and you can kind of take him anywhere you wish and do anything you want with him. Um, Now for some quick background on the Punisher. His name is Frank Castle, and his real name is actually Francis Castiglione. He's a former Marine from New York. He is of Italian descent. He was married with children. Um, and the story arc all begins with Frank and his family in Central Park in New York when they witnessed a mafia execution. The mafia then saw them and killed Frank's entire family, with Frank being the only survivor. And it was then his goal to kill the mafia and now move over to LA to kill drug lords. Um, as far as what kind of hero the Punisher is, I believe he fits all three, sort of. Um, he can be the anti-hero, the tragic hero, and the Byronic hero, but I believe he falls mostly in line with the Byronic hero, as he is a rebellious character, and the reckless actions he performs could lead to his doom. Now, for the hero's journey, this specific issue, he doesn't hit all the steps. So it kind of starts off with at entering the unknown, as he has moved from New York and he's put in Los Angeles, as you can see here on the screen. Um, Now, for aides and allies, he has a military armory officer. Later on in the issue, I'll show you, gives him weapons. I assume that he probably has more help in the military because he has a ton of weapons, and I don't know if he has a job per se. Uh, some archetypes appearing in this issue would be Hector and the Dos Sols cartel, them being his enemies. And his overall reward for all this, his kind of repeating reward, is the relief he gets from killing the bad guys, and in this case, the drug dealers and cartels. I'd like to take you through a quick run through of the comic book because watching other people's videos, I kind of wanted to see what they saw. So, here's the cover. And here's just some random opening scene of, a military guy getting rescued by dudes in cool masks. Some weird Star Wars-y helicopter. And they're talking about here going home, but then they get another mission, immediate redeployment, and so they shows them kind of turning around. Then it jumps forward to Mexico. Here's a little caption box. Pain is drowning. You can struggle against it. You can kick and you can scream. Your lungs fill up with water, but the only relief is to find a way up. And the direction is to swim that way. Metaphorically, of course. You notice it's kind of like a splash page. It has tiles and kind of gutters, but it's all bled through. So he's coming up out of the water and shooting someone. And you're assuming these are very drug cartel-y looking guys with boats. the Punisher, killing everybody. Blows his hand off, takes his ring. Here's more of that bleeding through I was talking about. And then here's where I feel like the big introduction is, the big movie introduction. It's a huge splash page of him with explosions and fire, alligators eating this guy. And then it says, you know, the title of the first issue, which is Momento Mori. You know, it says the writer here, artist, you know, chiefs, etc. Then it opens up in a sunny diner. He keeps coming back to this diner and looking for this cop lady. You know, he seems to be trying to live somewhat of a normal life. Here's the ring he took from the drug dealer, gave it to the cop. I thought this scene was really cool looking. You know, the silhouette of the ring over the whole city of LA. I thought that was pretty cool. And here's a very Breaking Bad feeling scene. This is where he meets his ally or aide, the armory officer. And here's two various bags he picks up to help in his quest. And then he's staking out Hector. And here's where he talks about his relief, his little caption here. Going against the target, guns blazing, feels like swimming straight up. So that kind of gives him his relief of, you know, not drowning. Really cool artistry though, very gritty. This guy looks severely confused, but, you know, thunk. I like it a lot. I'm probably going too fast and people can't read, sorry. But, and here's where he talks about, Hector's telling him that you can't just go after the Dos Souls, because they own this whole building here. So here's like a little playthrough. He says, you know, they'll see you coming a mile away on all the cameras. You know, you're coming in, you shoot a couple guys, but then you're surprised and you're caught by 10 dudes with guns. So then snap back to reality here. Calls his car crappy. Opens a trunk, and what was in those bags but a gigantic rocket launcher. You never planned on going in. So, very cool fire drawing. Like that a lot. And then here's like a panel within a page. Which was pretty cool. So building blows up. Hey man, don't leave me here for the pigs. Wasn't planning on it, you insulted his crappy car. So click, you get blown up. And back to the diner. In conclusion, I liked it. I have the rest of the issues, and I'll start to check those out as well. And if you remember back to the beginning, those three mercenaries, well, this is them. Their immediate attention was to come here and, you know, try to kill the Punisher. So I liked it. It was cool. I'm not a huge comic book fan, but I did read them as a kid. So it's kind of nice to come back and watch it. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.